It is 9:02, so any latecomers will just be a little bit late. So I think Taylor is dealing with a little kiddo on her own tonight, so she's probably not going to talk much. She might chime in here and there. But I am Michelle, in case you guys don't know me, and Taylor and I have kind of gotten together to do our team calls together just to kind of bring you bigger and better training. And so we've got Ashley with us tonight. She is a guest coach that we reached out to on the leaders page, who apparently has some amazing flat lays, and so she's going to be doing some training for us tonight on flat lays. So it's probably going to be about 20 minutes or so, just because there's not a whole lot that you can do on this topic, not in person and on a webinar. Then she's going to open it up for questions. We'll let her hop off if she wants to, and then we'll open it up to any general questions. So I am going to let Ashley take it away.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. This is fun. So like they said, I'm a coach. I'm in San Diego, California. I have just started doing flat lays the past few months, and I've been talking to a lot of the kind of co-leaders, other coaches, mentors, and I think the consensus is that our shoppers sometimes just need to see our same clothing differently. And so flat lays is one of the ways to do that. I feel like usually we'll show our clothes in our VIP sales, our Facebook sales, something like that. But then showing sometimes the same exact inventory in a live video or in a flat lay or in an outfit or something like that makes them see it differently, and suddenly they decide they're ready to buy that outfit or that item. So that's kind of why I started doing them. I also was in such a rhythm with such consistency with my schedule, as far as every Saturday morning for the last year and a half at 10 o'clock I do my VIP sales, and that's what I always did. And I was like, I kind of need some room for spontaneity. I want to surprise my customers a little bit. So here and there I'll pop in with maybe a collection of 6 to 10 flat lays. Sometimes it's during my sale and I'm just showing them some of the items that are available during my sale, or sometimes it's during the week when I don't have a sale going on, just to tease them with some new inventory. But anyway, so that's kind of what I have been using them for. So the first thing I want to do is just show you some of my examples. So I will share my screen. All right, can you guys see the flat lays on my desktop? If you could just nod your heads.
Yep, we can.
Perfect. Okay, so here's just some examples of the ones that I do. You can see I'm a fan of using just a stark white, very clean background. I know that a few of these outfits sold just because of these flat lays, because they were items that I had up for a little while that hadn't sold before until I posted these for my shoppers. So I just wanted to show you these as an example of what I've kind of done in the past, and wanted to start there. You'll see some of them have purses, some of them have shoes, some of them have jewelry. And I've also done flat lays where I have more props involved, like if I want to add a book or something, or I've done ones when I had the travel leggings, the leggings that have the Eiffel Tower on them and stuff. I added a camera into the shot. But these are kind of just the more basic, just wanting to show an outfit piece put together. So that is my some of my examples for you. So the next thing I'm going to do is talk to you about how I lay out my flat lay. So excuse me for my rocky camera work here, but let's see. Oh, here we go. This is the best way I knew how to do it. That's my dog, Foxy, hanging out on the couch. So this is literally where I do all my flat lays. It's in my living room on the floor. I have a huge roll of white butcher paper that I got from Hobby Lobby. It was $10. You can also order it online. And I just roll it out on the floor. It works probably a little bit better if it's on wood floors, but all I have is carpet, so I use what I have to use. I just put little, something down on the corners so that the white paper lays flat. And then what I usually do is I will do maybe 10 outfits at a time, and I'll get them all ready ahead of time. So I will go grab at least 2 pieces per outfit. I'll put them on a hanger together. I'll go grab my jewelry that I plan on putting with each outfit if I'm going to do that. I'll go grab my shoes. I'll go grab my hats. And then I set everything kind of around my living room in piles. So I'll have all my shoes in a pile, I'll have all my hats in a pile. That way, as I go through and I photograph all my pieces, everything is easily accessible. So I like to, if I have two pieces where I have, like here I have a Monroe and a Carly, or if I have a Sarah and something else, I like to lay them down as if they're being worn together. Does that make sense? That's why the Carly is inside of the Monroe as I lay them down. Because you could lay them next to each other, but I think that this looks more accurate as far as what the outfit piece would actually look like. When I am laying shoes out, I like to angle them, and I like to angle them different directions like I have with these black wedge sandals. And what I mean by that, let me see if I can do this, is like instead of putting them both this way, I think that aesthetically it's a lot more interesting if I can place them like opposite directions, either like, let's see, like that, or have them angled, just something fun. I oftentimes will put a hat into my outfit. And sometimes I put jewelry. This time I didn't because I wanted to focus on the colors of the Monroe and the hat. When I do jewelry, I usually lay it right in the middle of the dress. One thing I've noticed is unless it's a really big statement piece of jewelry, you can hardly see it sometimes. So it has to be a piece that I think really, really adds to the outfit if I'm going to include it. Otherwise, I'm just going to do a few pieces. I like to keep it kind of minimal. So let me back up so you can see again. I have a chair right here. I literally will stand on this chair so that I can try to get an angle above the outfit, and then I just take a photo on my phone. I have my door open because it's still like daylight for me at 6 p.m. So I actually have some really good natural light coming in right now. And so my preference is to do flat lays kind of in the evening or in the morning when I do have that natural light coming in. If I don't, though, I would just put my lighting kit up and I would face them down toward the flat lay, kind of take a few sample shots, play around with it. I would just use my two big umbrella lights and do that. But I tend to try to set it up so that it's at a certain time of day where I can just use natural light. Now the other thing, let's bring me back, about that is that we're going to edit it quite a bit. So it's not even going to matter so much exactly what the lighting looks like right now. You don't want it too dark or too bright or anything, but like right now you can see wrinkles in the paper, right? But you're not really going to be able to see those once we edit the photo. That's something I used to get really nervous about, was the wrinkles in the bottom of the paper, especially when my paper is on carpet. But if you edit your photo correctly, then those really get blown out to look stark white. So all the images you saw on my desktop, those were all taken this way. In reality, they're on a white piece of paper that's kind of wrinkly, and then once I edit it, it looks like a very flat surface. Another thing I've seen people do instead of using a roll of white paper like this is they've used like foam core, like white foam core. I don't know if that would give me enough space to work with, but that's another idea if you want to put something like that down. I've seen a lot of people use their own floor, like their wood floor. I prefer a white background. I always think it looks cleaner and more professional. Sometimes I think the wood bottom looks okay, but one thing I've noticed is when the panels of the wood aren't perfectly straight, then that like irritates me. I think to avoid that, I just think it's kind of distracting. So I think to avoid that, I would recommend just using a very solid backdrop like this white paper. So let's see. When I lay the outfits down, I use a color story, which I'll definitely get into as I talk more about how I edit my photos. Someone was just asking about what program I use. When I lay my outfits down, I never want them to be like perfectly straight. I want them to look like they've been, I don't know, like they're kind of flowing. So that's why you see my dress kind of angled, the Monroe kind of angled. I used to get really hung up on like perfection, but I actually think it looks a lot more natural if you just have everything kind of laying down at a little bit of an angle. So that's why I did that way. And so let me talk to you about editing for a little bit. So like I said, I use this app called Color Story. So Color Story, it's been a while since I bought it. I think it's like $10, which is a lot for an app. But I use it on every single one of my LuLaRoe like photos. Everything I post on Facebook or Instagram, I use Color Story on. It has albums of different filters. So it's like you open one album and there's 10 filters in that album. Then you have another album, another one. There's just so many filters to use. So this is what it looks like, this little colorful thing. So that is what I'm going to use. And I have a couple examples on my phone. So let's see. My dog is walking on my paper backdrop. So let me show you a before kind of an after. So this is, let's see if you can, is it too bright? There, that's better. This is a photo I actually took on my phone of a flat lay. It's upside down, obviously. You could see my carpet on the sides, and the coloring is not very good. There you go. You can kind of tell more there. So that was before I edited the photo. After I edited the photo in Color Story, this is what it looked like. Oops, that's me and my dog. So that was before, and that was after. This is kind of one of the examples where I felt like that necklace was like a really, really nice statement piece, so I definitely wanted to add it. But I wanted to show you what a difference the editing really makes with these photos. So let me go to Color Story, and I will open up an unedited photo here. Let's see. Okay, so I chose this photo, which I took earlier today. Sorry about the lighting. I'm trying to get it so you can see it better. So this is what I actually have down there right now. And so you can see, like, I haven't edited this at all. This was all just from the natural light, and then I haven't cropped it or anything. The first thing I do, so you open it in Color Story, you click Continue, and I use the tools, which is the little wrench, and I use the adjust button, and then I go to bright. Let's see, you can see that. And then you use this toggle to brighten up the image. I know it's kind of hard to see, but if you open up the app, it'll make more sense. But so you use this to, you can either darken or lighten the image. So the first thing I do is I brighten it like a lot, almost all the way. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do, so you have to press the green check mark to say that you want to save it like that. The next thing I'm going to do is actually up the contrast. Because sometimes if you brighten it too much, then the colors no longer look accurate. They're like too faint. And so I also up the contrast to make those a little bit darker again. So now I've opened up contrast, and I'm just going to up the contrast. So you can kind of see. That's how it looks. You don't see like wrinkles in the paper anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and check the mark that says I want to save that. Now I'm going to go to under Tools on Color Story. You go to Crop and Frame, and I'm going to go to Square Crop. So now I can choose to make a square out of this image. One thing that I think personally is that you don't have to have the entire outfit in the square. Sometimes I think it's cute if you're actually cutting into the image and you're doing a portion of it. Another thing, let's see. See, so I mean, I could do something like that, or I could even move in and like just do this and end up cropping it there. And I think that looks really cute. Sometimes you're just showing them a portion of the outfit, and I still like it that way. The other thing you can do, I'm not going to save that crop because I want to show you, you can also use the tilt feature. So the tilt feature moves your graphic around. So if it is too straight and you want to make it more crooked, because I think it looks more interesting that way, you can do that. So let's go ahead and I will tilt that photo. I'll press the check mark saying I want to save it. I'll go back to my square crop. And I'm going to crop pretty small into the graphic. You can still see the shoes, you can still see the hat, but you're not seeing everything. Then I press done, save and finish. So let me show you the finished product. So that's my done image. It's amazing how you can't see any of the wrinkles in the white paper. And I don't mind that the Carly looks wrinkly because it's a garment, so of course it's going to look wrinkly. And it does lessen it when you brighten it up. I mean, you could even crop smaller if you wanted to. But that is how I do my flat lays. So I definitely utilize a color story. I up the brightness, then I up the contrast. Sometimes I tilt the image, and then I square crop it. So when I am posting these in my shopping group, I will post the outfit, and then I will post links, because I use Shop With Me, so obviously some of you probably don't, but I post links to where they can find each item. So I'll say something like, I love how summery this outfit looks, and then I'll put like Monroe small colon and a link to the Monroe, and a Carly extra small colon and a link to the Carly. So when they're looking at the image, I'm telling them exactly where to get each piece. Another tip, if you have issues with wrinkles, you can use the smooth feature on the app Facetune. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't heard of Facetune before. So whenever possible, I give them, I tell them where they can get each item in the outfit. Another thing I've done is I've used PicMonkey to create like a header image. So I'll take like a few flat lays, and then I'll make a collage of them that's made like, it's more horizontal shape. So I'll do like 3 square photos, and you can use that header image to be your Facebook cover photo, or if you create event pages for each one of your sales, you can use it as the event photo, because that can look really nice together, really clean. I also have, I do an e-newsletter on MailChimp, and so I have a header photo for that, and sometimes I've used like 3 square flat lays in a row to make a nice header image for my newsletter. So I've put them on my Facebook business page. I've definitely posted them in my shopping group. The last place that I love to post flat lays is on Instagram. I think that to make your Instagram account really like pretty, you want to have a variety of different kinds of poses. You don't just want you in an outfit in the middle of a photo over and over and over and over again. So the way that I personally do it, let me see if I can I'll pull up my Instagram on my computer, is I do every 6th photo is a quote. I do a mixture of photos of just me, photos of groups of people wearing LuLaRoe, and then I do flat lays. So I feel like the flat lays really break it up, so it's not just people posing for a photo every single time. You actually get to see some outfits laid out. And the great thing about posting these on Instagram is there are tons of hashtags you can use, and lots of accounts that actually like specialize in flat lays that you can tag and hopefully get some good followers from. So it's not letting me pull it up on my, let's try one more time on my computer. Otherwise I can show you on my phone. Okay, well, here is my Instagram account. Okay, so I do a mixture of quotes, close-up photos, shots of me and other people, and then like there's a flat lay, there's a flat lay, there's a flat lay. So just some tips. I'd say no more than every like 5th photo I would do a flat lay, just so that it looks like it varies. So some hashtags and different things you can do for your flat lays on Instagram. I do hashtag flat lay, hashtag flat lays, so singular and plural, hashtag flat lay of the day. I do hashtag fashion flat lay style. Now flat lay style is an account as well as a hashtag, so I actually tag my flat lay photos with a few different things. You can see this here. I've tagged, obviously, LuLaRoe in the photo. I've tagged flat lay style, flat lay fashion, and then Gigi Pip is where my hat is from. Oh, actually my shoes are Tom's, so I should probably tag Tom's in the photo. So if you have accessories and other things, I would tag their accounts as well, because sometimes you get new followers that way, or sometimes, if you're lucky, they might regram you. So I've actually tagged flat lay style and flat lay fashion, which have actual accounts. I've also used their hashtags, because these are flat lay accounts that curate, so they look for posts to regram. And if you want the potential to be one of them, then you want to tag them in your photo. Also, I believe LuLaRoe still does LuLaRoe Flat Lay Friday, I think is the whole hashtag. So if you're going to post on a Friday, make sure you hashtag LuLaRoe Flat Lay Friday, and sometimes they will regram us. It's my whole goal in life is to be regrammed by LuLaRoe. Also, there's another one, another account, flatlay_tips. You can tag them and see if they'll regram you. Foxy, come here. My guard dog, all 20 pounds of her. What else? So if you just look and you search Instagram and search the tags and type in Flatlay, you're going to see all different kinds of hashtags that you can use. So Flatlay Today, Flatlay Squad, Flatlay Love. These are all ones that as soon as I type in Flatlay to the search on Instagram, you can find different ones. And then if you search, instead of tags, you search people, you'll see like Flatlay Addict is an account, Flatlay Squad. So these are all ones that I would recommend looking at. If you think one looks kind of consistent with what we have, if they have cute fashion flatlays that you think ours kind of look like, then I would tag them and I would use their hashtag. Someone said, I've never even thought about tagging the brand of the shoes and jewelry. Yeah, totally. Tag them because I've definitely gotten likes from them when I've tagged them before, but my goal is to get regrammed by them because I see them do it with other people. So maybe it will be me one day. So let's see. I think that is about it for my flatlays. What questions do you guys have for me? You can unmute yourself or you can type into the chat box. Let me know if you have any questions.
Do you use your oh gotta take it out of my headphones. Do you use your own like shoes and hats, or do you have separate ones that you just use for like flat lays?
I use my own because I own about 26 hats. My shoppers know that it's like one of my things that I just have tons and tons of hats. And I tell people that honestly, now that I don't spend money on clothes, since I just keep all my LuLaRoe, it's like I own so many more shoes and hats and purses than I've ever had before, because it's like, what else do I spend my money on if I'm not spending money on clothes? So I just happen to have like a pretty big collection. One time when I was at LuLaRoe Leadership, I went to Joya in LA. If you've heard of it, it's like this humongous, completely overwhelming jewelry accessory store. And I bought a bunch of stuff, a bunch of necklaces and stuff, thinking that I would use them in a lot of photos. And I end up using my own jewelry because I like my own jewelry more. And like I said, when you brighten up a flat lay, if the jewelry isn't like really big and grabs attention, you end up losing it in the photo and it doesn't really add to it. So yeah, I end up using mostly my own stuff. My Insta handle is LuLaRoe Ashley Rae. I will follow you, Shelby. So LuLaRoe and then Ashley, ASHLEY, and then RAE is my middle name. I love it. LuLaRoe. Any other questions?
I do have another. When I was first taught to do flat lays, I kept stuff like on a hanger and then I'd kind of like throw it out and lay it down. Does that make sense? Is that how you do yours? And then like you just remove the hanger. Is that how you do yours, or do you lay everything down?
I should do it that way. That makes a lot of sense. Because usually I have them hung together on one hanger. I like carefully take them off as I'm still pinching them together, and I like, I don't know, try to toss them carefully so that they land in exactly the way I want. It would probably make so much more sense if I just kept them on the hanger until they were like exactly where I wanted them to be. I will say that with the Monroe, I tried to pay attention to the fringe craziness when I laid it down. So I tried to comb it so that in the photo you'll actually see the direction it would naturally lay if it was being worn as an outfit, which would be down instead of like all which ways. But yeah, that's a great idea. Just keep it on the hanger, lay the hanger down, and then maneuver the hanger out of it.
I was looking at butcher paper because I haven't found anything that was white that was big enough where now that, see, I'm so like picture dumb. Like I don't crop to the square or do anything like that. So you see my tile floor and so I'm always like, I want something bigger that's white, but I like your butcher paper. When I was looking it up online, I see that there's a lot that's only 24 inches, which doesn't seem very like the long roll, but only 24 inches. So do you know what yours is by chance?
It's a good question. Let me see if I can find out real quick because I don't know. It's bigger than 24 inches though. What it's actually made for, it's like teacher supply paper that they can use on billboard or their boards like around the room. So I mean, you might be able to find paper like this at a teacher supply store or something too.
Now I'm looking at bulletin board paper.
Actually, let me just real quick.
So bulletin board paper, 36 inches.
Okay, just a second. Okay, so mine is 50 inches tall and then just rolls on forever. Yes, I got mine at Hobby Lobby. It was like less than $10, I'm pretty sure.
I see like
someone said Elmer's project board works really well too, someone said. I do have one girl on my team who uses wallpaper, and it's gray and white chevron, and it's really faint. So even though I recommend using like just a really clean blank background, hers looks really cute too. It's not too distracting. So wallpaper is one option. Or wrapping paper. I just don't know if it's like tall enough.
I see a 48 inch.
That,
Now that I know what to look for.
Yeah, I would say that would be about what mine is.
Perfect. And I posted on the Lula Ladies and Gents team page, the app. I'll post it on Hustle and Row too, so that way you guys can see it in case you're questioning which app it is. That she does her editing. Any other questions for Ashley? There's something else in the chat. Amanda, I'll answer first. She said she got hers at Hobby Lobby. Yep. And then a while back, somebody said they use something else to get rid of the wrinkles. They use the smooth feature on the app Facetune. Awesome. All right, anybody else? Question?
No problem.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending your time hopping on and teaching us tonight. And I'm just going to answer some general questions and tell them that there's no Disney launch. And so thank you so much. We really appreciate you for coming on. Have a wonderful night.
No problem. Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye. Where can I switch back to active speaker? Not that I want to be on the screen, but. Okay, so I know that Taylor posted in Hustle and Row that there is no Disney launch tonight, so you guys don't have to stay by your phones and your computers to look for that email or that announcement. They are going to be talking about it on the webinar tomorrow. So that was pretty much the only announcement that I really had. Does anybody have any general questions that aren't related to flat lays that Taylor or I can answer for you? Nope. All right. Thank you guys so much for hopping on. Have a good night. We appreciate you for getting here. See ya.